Hello everyone, this is Renier Castellanos from Spain, and here we are with a new video lesson. Okay, today we're going to see the game played between the Grandmasters Meier and G-Polzin, played in the team championship in Austria a few days ago. The game was a King's Indian, one of my favorite openings of all times, and it's quite interesting because the line played seems to be one of the most dangerous lines for black. After d4, d6 this doesn't need any introduction. This is the main line of the King's Indian, very famous. e5, castle, and now knight c6, d5, knight d7, knight d1. The Grandmaster from Germany, Meier, who is with the white pieces, has been playing this for a while now with good results. Knight d7, knight d3, f5, and now bishop d2. Another move possible is f3 immediately. Alright, with the idea of bishop d2 is to play rook c1 and quickly develop an attack on the c file with c5. Knight f6 to force white to play f3, and now black plays f4. Okay, this, for those who are familiar with this opening, this is nothing new. Black will try to attack the white king, and on the other hand, white will play c5, rook c1, and try to win on the queen side. Okay, c5, g5, and here is the first point in the opening in which we must be careful with the move order, especially. In most games, white takes immediately on d6 and continues with rook c1 or knight f2, depending on which plan he wants to play in the future. However, there is another move that is rook c1. This move caught my attention in the year 2007 when Vinay Bhatt, a grandmaster from US, played it against me. At the moment, I didn't see the idea of rook c1, and I played h5, thinking that after c takes on d6, he takes d6, knight b5, knight d8, we will transpose to the normal lines. But then he played knight b5, knight d8 forced, and then bishop a5, and I immediately realized that something was wrong. I had to play b6, and after bishop e1, a6, knight c3, he had a slightly better game. Black's queen side is weak, and the attack is not going anywhere yet. I had to start thinking about defense, and I was lucky to get the draw in the end. Okay, this idea is what Meier has been playing lately. After rook c1, knight g6. This move is better than the move I played h5. This, of course, is better because after knight b5, black will have rook f7, which is a more natural defense. The move rook f7 is more useful at the moment than the move h5. For instance, you can have bishop f8 if you need it. Okay, Meier continues with bishop a5. This line is rare, actually, and the character of this line is very forced because b6 is almost the only move, and after c takes on d6, black cannot take the bishop on a5. Taking the bishop on a5 is really bad. After d takes on c7, queen f8, and now queen a4. Not the only move, also knight c5 is possible, but I think queen a4 is the strongest move in this position, as Binayvat played also against an international master. That game continued with g4, queen, knight c5, knight h4, queen takes, and knight e6, shutting the bishop from c8. Basically, black's attack is gone. It's gone before it started. There is nothing here. And what to do about the c7 pawn? Knight takes on a7. He's going to take on c8 eventually, after queen b6 or something. Queen c7, this desperation move, and simply white wins by taking the queen, and he takes e7, clearing the diagonal g8, and after bishop takes, queen d5 wins the rook on a8. Okay, this was a nice game by Binayvat with the white pieces, but the piece cannot be taken. It's better to ignore that bishop on a5 and simply go on with c takes on d6. Okay, all of this had been played before by Meier, who knew this position beforehand, because not so long ago he played it against a friend of mine, Grandmaster Jose Manuel Lopez from Barcelona. Bishop e1, a6, knight c3. The move knight a3 is clearly worse because black plays b5 and keeps the knight on a3 for a while. So knight c3, and now the move a5. a5 was first played by Grandmaster I mentioned it earlier, Lopez. But actually a5 is a move that I've worked a few months ago and told him to play this line when we were studying together. Okay, the idea of a5 is to stop knight b4, which is white's main plan. Knight b4, knight c6. The drawback of this move is that it leaves weak squares. You can see the holes in b5, c6. But somehow black will try to hold on the queen side and get the attack going with g4, hopefully very soon. Now Meier plays bishop f2. In the game mentioned before, it was against the same opponent, Meier versus Lopez. Meier played knight f2, and after bishop f8, knight b5, h5, rook c6. Also the white pieces are invading in black's position, but there are no threats. The d6 pawn is protected, the square c7 is protected, there is no threat on b6 yet. So after rook g7, a4, bishop d7, in h1, both sides are doing what they are supposed to do. Here Meier plays king h1 to it's a prophylactical move, but then you can see that white's position is not improving much. After knight h8, the knight is going to f7, defending d6, maybe h6 later, but most important, g4 cannot be prevented anymore. Rook c3, g4, rook g1, g3, and black had the advantage. That game continued with knight h3, rook c8, queen c2, and now knight g4. Very good move. Takes, rook takes on c3, and pawn takes. This is a common sacrifice and a common scenario in the King's Indian. The two black pawns on g4 and f4 are enough, more than enough compensation for the piece. Black has a very strong attack. The knight cannot move because g3 is made. So Meier had to play g3, and now black should have played the move f3 with the idea of queen f6 on the next move and queen h6, for example. There is no rush in taking the knight on h3. Okay, back to the main game. After a5, Meier now improved his game with bishop f2. Okay, black continue with rook b8, knight b5, bishop f8, rook c6, and now knight e8. Okay, black overprotects everything on the queen side. d6, b6, c7, those are the weakest points in his position. And now he's ready for h5 and rook g7 and eventually g4. Bishop d7. Okay, the idea is just to have the threat there, threatening. Sometimes I say to have it there because sometimes black doesn't even need to take the rook on c6 because that bishop is worth a rook. Those who play who play the King's Indian know that the bishop on c8 is one of the most important attacking pieces. So I think it's more about protection than actually take the rook, because taking the rook here wouldn't mean much. Rook c3. Now white is threatening knight a7 and knight c6. That is kind of annoying, so black plays rook b7. Okay, black has everything covered. There is no entrance on the c file, and there is no way to get to c6. So white plays b4, creating a new target. After he takes on a5, the a5 pawn becomes a target. h5, take, and now knight a7. Okay, white immediately manages to get his knight to c6 on the next move. Of course, black had prevented this, and he thought that after knight f6, knight c6, queen a8, he was holding. But the position is quite unclear. Why? Because black has everything in order except one thing, the queen on a8. Even if he manages to play g4 and g3, then you have to wonder how are you going to get the queen to the king's side. It's not easy. White went queen c2, normal move, and then g4. Okay, queen c2 with the idea of knight b2 now, and knight c4, and knight takes a5. White simply goes on with his idea on the queen side and ignores whatever is happening on the king side. Rook g7, knight c4, and now g3. Both attacks are arriving at the same time. White is ready to take the a5 pawn or to play knight b6, and black has managed to play g3 with some initiative on the king side. Now, okay, white has to take, pawn takes, and now the computer suggests a move that is truly amazing, is bishop e3. I couldn't find any anything to refute the move bishop e3, and it looks like white's chances in this position are better. Still hard to do for a human, leaving that pawn on g3. But if you look at it close, it is what I was saying earlier. The queen on a8, how to play it to h4 is the main question. And even if at some point he manages to play queen h4, white will have king f1 and bishop g1. So this is a move for the braves. I didn't find anything for black, but this doesn't mean that that there is not something to play for black. For instance, maybe knight f4, but the thing is that knight f4, after bishop takes, pawn takes, and queen d2, he's going to take on f4, and I don't see how black can make progress, honestly. Okay, but Meier didn't like this, and he took the g3 pawn. Okay, now as often happens, black obtains a lot of compensation for that pawn and by playing on the dark squares, and the move h4, bishop h2 and knight h5 is a very common maneuver in this type of positions, with the idea of knight gf4 and knight h5 to g3. Now white has to think about defense, so he plays knight e3 with the idea of knight g4 in the future, blocking the g file. Knight g3. Now it's too late to eliminate the knight, because in case of bishop g3, pawn takes, and rook b1, black has enough compensation for the material. The knight on f4 is very strong piece, and then there is queen e8 and queen h5. This doesn't look good. On king f1 there is bishop h3, for example, so that would be suicidal. White player rook e1. Now knight f4. Black has obtained a very decent game. He has good initiative, and the only piece that is not playing is the queen on a8, but the rest is fine. Bishop d1, rook b6. Very interesting move with an eye on c6, and also with the idea maybe of at some point play queen b7 and rook b2. I have to say that black already had bishop h3, which would lead to a draw after g takes on h3, knight h3, king g2. There are no strong discovered checks, so it's just a draw after knight f4, knight h3, knight f4, and draw. Okay, but black, of course, is playing for a win with rook b6, keeping the game alive. Knight g4, and now a move that I like a lot, king h8. setting up a very nice trap. For example, in case white was threatening knight f6 check and maybe knight d7, but in case he plays knight f6 now, then black plays bishop takes e6, d takes e6, and now rook takes e6. This was the trap that black was setting up. And after rook takes on c6, queen a7 check. If queen f2, then knight h3 check, g takes, knight e4, discover check, and then queen f2 or knight f2, anything wins. So after queen a7, the only move is rook c5, and now of course not d takes e5, but d5, and black wins. And the next move, bishop c5, and that's it. Yes, I thought it was very clever and smart, this king h8 move. Okay, so here white played queen f2. Attacking the rook on b6 and keeping the g3 knight on their attack, but still it will always be risky for white to get rid of his own bishop on h2. Rook e3. For example, in case of bishop g3, after pawn takes, he cannot take on g3 because rook takes d1 and knight d2 check. So queen a2, for example, then he plays queen e8 and queen b1, queen h5, and white can't resign. So Meier had to play rook e3, and now bishop c6, d takes c6, queen takes. The smoke has cleared, and black is left with a very promising position because of the two knights on f4 and g3. They are very strong. So after bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes, now black plays a very nice move, bishop e7, taking away the square h4 and also activating the dark square bishop. For instance, if rook b2, then white has queen h4 check, rook h7, queen f6, king g8, and bishop e2, followed by bishop f1, and white defends. However, after bishop e7, this is not easy, and black is threatening to play rook h7 and bishop h4, so the queen is kind of misplaced on g3. Also, ideas with bishop d8 and bishop b6 are possible. Queen f2. Now black played bishop d8. This move is not bad, but even stronger was bishop g5, with the idea of queen c5. And once black plays queen c5, there are threats like knight takes on g2. For example, let's say queen c5 in a position like this. There is a threat of knight takes g2, king takes g2, bishop takes on e3, and then after rook takes e3, rook takes d1, for example, winning an exchange. In case of rook b3, then queen f2. If king f2, bishop h4, g3, rook takes b3, bishop takes, and knight d3 wins the exchange. Also, if knight f2, then rook takes, and bishop h4, and black is threatening to take on g2, and also bishop f2 and knight d3 wins the exchange as well. So after bishop g5, in case of rook f1, then queen c4 with the idea of knight d3, and if queen c2 trying to trade queens, then queen b6, pinning the rook and threatening to move the knight or to play rook b2, depending on what white plays now. For example, if g3, knight h5 is enough for an advantage. He's attacking g3, attacking e3 as well. The king cannot get close to the second file because of rook b2. So white is in trouble here. Okay, but bishop d8 is also good. After bishop b3, rook takes on e1, queen takes e1, and now queen c5. This move is a key move, forcing the white king to get out of the pin. If king f1, then rook h7 is strong, with the idea of rook h1, so he has to play king h1, and you can see how this is very uncomfortable to move the king to the open file. After rook h7, knight h2, there are already black clouds surrounding the white king. Now he played queen d4, possibly not the strongest move, but still good, with the idea of queen b2, and also which would attack, would be threatening mate on g2. It was interesting to play queen a7 with the idea of bishop b6, bishop f2, bishop g3, for example. Okay, after queen d4, white played the move g3. Also, I have to say one thing. Instead of queen d4, queen a3 was very promising as well. For instance, bishop c2, queen b2, and queen d1 would be the best move, because of course queen c3, queen c1 check. Yeah, this, I think, this is winning, yes. After rook e1, and then knight d2. Looks like black wings. Rook takes on e1, and then knight d3, king d1, bishop b6, and black gives checkmate. So, okay, queen a3 was stronger than queen d4, and after bishop c2, queen b2, queen d1 is the best move. Also, queen b1, queen d4. And if the rook moves, then queen f2. So queen d1, queen b6 attacking the rook, and after queen d2, knight h5, with the idea of knight d3 check and bishop g5. White has no no defense against this. Okay, but queen d4 is also a good move. g3, this is already a mistake, but the right move was difficult to find. I discovered this line which is a little better for black, but not winning. For example, queen c3, then rook b7, and after knight f1, knight d2, queen takes d4, and now a series of in-between moves. Rook h7 check, knight h2, knight g3 check, king g1, e takes d4. The only move is now rook e1, because in case of rook d3, then knight d2 check, followed by knight c1 with the double attack. So rook e1 is the only move, and then d3, king f2, bishop h4, knight f4. White loses the knight on h2, but his king is too advanced and there is very little material on the board, so there is always a chance for draw, I think. Knight 2, king c6, king g7. I think black is still better, but who knows? It's very difficult to win. Okay, in the game Meier played the move g3, and after queen b2 he was lost. Black is threatening checkmate on g2 and also on h2. The only move is queen g1 and then knight h3. Now all of the black pieces are participating in the attack. Bishop b6 is ready, as well as knight f2 check on the next move. So after knight h3, queen f1, knight f2 check, king g1. They repeated move here. It is possible that because of time trouble, that would explain why black misses the stronger moves. Here, for example, he played rook h2, missing the stronger and I think easier bishop b6, because if queen takes f2, bishop takes on e3, and when he takes, black captures on h2 and the game is easily winning. After queen takes e3, rook h2, and white doesn't even have a check. So queen e2 would be the only move after bishop b6, and then queen c1, knight f1, bishop takes e3. If queen takes e3, rook h1 and queen f1 is checkmate. So king g2, bishop d4, black is up a whole rook, easily winning. The move played in the game, of course, also wins, and that is rook takes on h2. Okay, if king takes h2, knight g4 is double check. So rook e2 was played, and then rook h1. If king takes f2, rook f1 is with check. So king g2, queen takes b3, queen takes f2, rook h7. Black is up a piece, and now it's just a matter of time that black coordinates an attack on h3, queen e6, queen h3 with bishop b6, and wins easily. f4, bishop b6, queen takes on a4, if rook takes b6, queen e4 check, queen f3, rook h2 wins the queen. So he had to defend e4, queen d4, ideas of queen g1, and queen c3, and here white resigns. Okay, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed this game. I certainly did. This line with bishop a5, it deserves attention because it's not clear how black should really play. a5 is the latest move, but it's possible that black still needs an improvement over that, because at least to me it's not clear that black's attack is fast enough. Okay everyone, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy these videos.